Hey, welcome to the Fireside Tattoo Podcast. I am Jay. Go to tattooimprovement.com, sign up for our mailing list, keep up with what we're doing, where we're going. And there's one place we're going real soon, the Impact event, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. This is Mel Ferranto, and we're here in my studio. We just finished up Nick Baxter's workshop, and Mel came in from North Carolina to take the workshop. Now she is a master still life artist. So if you need some apples painted,
I got you.
this is the lady. This is the lady to talk to. So just in case people don't know who you are or where you came from, you are a tattooer. You've been tattooing how long?
Almost 9 years.
9 years. In North Carolina the whole time?
Yep, whole time.
But over like coastal North Carolina, like far, like the
Actually,
East Coast.
just
right?
in the same shop.
Just in the same shop the whole time?
The whole time. Yep.
Okay. But it's
One
on the
shop.
coast of Carolina?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of sharks out. People get eaten along that coast a lot.
Do they?
No, it's for real. Have you guys seen any of that? Like a lot. It's like the shark capital of the U.S., I think. Do you guys not remember that? Just a couple of years ago, there were like 9 shark attacks in a summer.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Scary.
That's why I don't even go to the beach.
Don't get in the water.
Don't
Yeah.
get in the water.
So you've been tattooing 9 years, all at the same shop. So wait, you own the shop that you're in, right?
Yes.
Did you start
I
a
didn't,
shop and then start tattooing?
No. I started managing the shop right after my apprenticeship. Not ideal, I know, but that's how it started. And then after a few years, I took it over as a partnership, and then a couple more years later, I just bought it out completely. So I've had it for about five now.
So how, comparing it to, well, I don't guess you have much of a comparison because you didn't really tattoo without having a managerial role for very long at all, huh?
Nope.
So how was your time split, just out of curiosity, from tattooing to like business hat to tattooing hat? Or is it equal? Are you spending more time on the business, less time tattooing?
It really depends on the side project. So working on Impact, it's definitely easier to go part-time, just about 2 days a week, if anything at all, just because of the workload.
Yeah.
But during the normal part of the year, it's about four days tattooing.
Okay. And what type of work mainly are you doing? Are you working large-scale stuff or smaller stuff? Multiple?
I prefer to kind of keep it about one session and
Yeah.
then do another passover on it.
How many
yeah.
tattooers are in your shop total?
9.
Oh, wow. That's a big
Yeah.
shop.
9, a body piercer, a non-laser tattoo removal specialist.
Oh,
Yep.
really? Huh. How long have you been doing that?
The non-laser removal?
Yeah.
Probably about 2 years now.
Is that where they put a sticker on you? And I've seen something recently that's been popping up on my Instagram feed. Do you know what I'm talking about? Either of you? It's weird. It's like a sticker, and they draw. Well, you tell me what you're doing, so I don't sound like an idiot. What is non-laser removal look like?
We use a tattoo Vanish method. So basically, you use a tattoo machine to exfoliate the top layer skin. Then they put
Just with like water, you're just like.
they use
you just rough up the
an anesthetic.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like I think it's lidocaine that they're using.
So wait, you dip the machine in it and then.
Yep.
run?
Instead of ink,
Okay.
open it up, and then you put a all natural solution on top. You just kind of let it soak in, sit in, and then it pulls the ink up and out.
Really?
Yeah.
What is the solution? You probably.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not really
That's
sure
crazy.
exactly what's in it.
Have you heard of that? I've never heard of it. Does it work? Is it effective?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's why we keep doing it. But yeah, there's a lot of different actually, I think, companies that are doing that.
Huh. Is it?
So
I mean, does it
depends
feel
on-
basically like getting tattooed, or does the stuff you put on it, does it like burn or?
It burns a little bit, from what I hear. I haven't actually had it done to me.
Huh. Crazy. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't mean to go too far down that road.
That's okay.
So physically, how big is that shop? You got 9 people there. Are there 9 stations? Are they all full timers?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We have it's 4,000 square feet.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's a big place.
Yeah.
Huh. So how big is the town that you tattoo in?
I'm not sure how big it is actually.
What's it called? What's the name of the town?
Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I've heard of it. It's a decent size, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's move on. That's enough about you. Let's talk about Impact.
Okay.
So Impact. Tell me what it is. What is Impact?
Impact now has evolved to a 4-day educational event. So basically, we break it down into 4 days. First day being career strategies, second day being marketing to your target client. The third day is more about client relations, your booking process, creating systems, delegation. And then the fourth day, we've split off into two options. So either they can stick with me, and I'll be giving a lecture on studio management, or they can do the art room, which is Alex Ellis and Nick Baxter.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is probably the first event of that kind that's focused almost entirely on business and marketing for tattoos. Am I wrong about that? Or is it?
No, yeah, this would be the first, yeah.
How have you found that the response has been? Because anytime I talk to any tattooer that thinks they want to open their own shop or has recently opened their own shop, they don't seem to really have the mindset for it. You know what I mean? Like the idea of developing a process and following it through, or having other people follow it. It just seems like foreign to most tattooers that I talk to.
Yeah, I feel like if somebody had sat me down a long time ago and said, this is what you're getting into, I probably would have rethought a lot of things, because I had to learn the hard way, most of it, yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of times people are so, you hear, I can't remember who I heard say this, but like the worst person to start a plumbing company would be a plumber. Like if you're a technician in the business, you probably should never own that type of business, because you tend to think that technical aspect is like the be all end all of what that business should be about, but it's really just one element, and it's not more important than some of the other elements in the business. But you almost never find tattoo shop owners that are not tattooers, or it's rare. Like normally people that start a tattoo shop are tattooers. Yeah,
I think there's a lot of negativity that comes with that. Like, I don't want to work for somebody that doesn't also tattoo, because they just won't understand. They won't get it. But I think a lot of tattooers do get into owning shops because they think, I don't want to work for anybody else, so I'm going to go open up the shop. And then they don't realize that, if you're going to hire a staff or a crew, or, you definitely work for somebody else, that they depend on you.
Yeah. And then also, if you don't do those things, then you just end up owning a lot of extra jobs in addition to tattooing, which is there's no way it can't affect your tattooing.
Right. You're going to have to take a step back. I think the workload is, depending on what you're willing to do, or if you have a manager, but, it's going to triple, quadruple sometimes, depending on what phase of the business you're in. If you're still building it, then you have to put a lot of time and effort in. Right.
So you've done this before on a smaller scale, right?
Yes.
How many times, and where? What did it look like the last times that you did it?
It was about 7 or 8 times before. And we've done workshop sizes anywhere from 7 to 17, I think was the largest that we've done. Yeah.
How do you, is it, I haven't seen it. I've seen some of the curriculum. I've seen the syllabus, the things that are going to happen. But is it something that's really scalable? Could you do it for 100 people or no?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And that's what we're shooting for with the 4-day event.
Yeah.
Is to fill the ballroom. So.
Right. Yeah. So you've actually gone and done it like at shops, it's been more like intimate up to now. It hasn't been in a ballroom before. This will be the first time.
No, this is going to be the first time. Yeah.
Was that a pretty big challenge, scaling it up to this?
Yeah. Definitely. There's a lot of planning that goes into it. There's a lot of moving parts as far as event staff, down to feeding people and getting the sponsors involved, coordinating the speakers, what they're going to be talking about, the event program, how the times are going to run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Lots involved.
Since you're teaching processes and scalability and all that, going through this, do you feel like you've developed a process to where the next time you repeat it, it'll be a lot easier?
Oh yeah. I try to do that with everything that I do. So if I do it the first time, I'm taking mental notes on, if I did it this way next time, that would cut out a lot of time, or make it easier, more efficient, or make it easier for other people. Mm-hmm. So we're learning a lot along the way on how we can do it better next time.
So let's run through just a little bit. You briefly ran over what each day is, but you talked about, just give a little synopsis of what, so day one will look like what?
All right. So day one, we start with planning. It's just where do you want to go
Like
in your career.
life and career planning. Where do you see yourself?
Yeah, life and career planning. Where do you see yourself? Because we can't tattoo forever. Got to take that into account. What do you have to work with right now that you could build upon? Then we go into productivity. Let's see, productivity. Durr Morrison is going to do a presentation on entrepreneurship. Nick is going to do a presentation on tattoo strategies. I believe that you called it Tools of the Trade. It's a 2-part, yep. Which is going to be the first time that it's been presented. Yep.
Huh. Tools of the Trade. What is that? Do you know what that? Oh, I can't ask you because you don't have a microphone. Do you know what that's like? What it's going to be about?
Using the right tool for the job.
Like physically using the right tool for the job?
Reverse engineering, planning out your tattoo ahead of time.
Say it. I'll just repeat. Is that right?
It's more of a metaphor, but there's some practical applications.
Okay. Well, it's in the syllabus, I'm sure, right?
It's in the syllabus, yes.
Okay. So what? All right. So beyond that, where do you go from there?
That same day, we go over other educational resources in the industry, high performance, portfolio building. And then when we move into marketing, we go through marketing basics, Instagram, Facebook, email, websites, bios. Rob Smead, owner of Electrum, he's going to do a presentation on social video.
Oh.
Yep.
What's that, like Facebook Live, stuff like that?
Yep, Facebook Live, Instagram video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are interested in that. And, currently right now I don't do anything with video, so he's the perfect guy to come in and supplement that.
That seems to be blowing up. I mean, it's amazing. I think back, I'll be flipping through Instagram and I'll see a thing that like Teresa Sharp is going to be answering questions while she's doing a tattoo, and I think like, man, 20 years ago, if someone at Teresa's skill level was giving away like you could just watch them tattoo and like type in a question or whatever, and then someone answers it. Oh my God, that would have blown my mind. I mean, it's still mind blowing today, but it's what an incredible asset that is to have like live video where people can interact with each other on that level. It's crazy. Well, that'll be an interesting one to talk about.
Yeah, I'm excited to see everybody else's presentations too.
So that's all in day 1?
That's day 1 and day 2.
Okay.
Yep.
Got you. And then
day 3 is more about client relations, like we said. So we go into what your clients actually expect when they come in, as far as the customer service standpoint, and just some different suggestions that they could take, their booking process. So I run into a lot of people at my shop that experience clients that they wish that they didn't have to anymore. They wish they want to be more booked out consistently. So we kind of explain how they can scale from not having any of those things in place to being booked out, having more of a process, putting some degrees between them and the client.
Yeah. What kind of things are you touching on when you're trying to like market to your ideal client? Like, how do you I don't want you to give away a lot of stuff from the workshop, but like, how do you determine who your ideal client is? How do you know who you're looking for?
It really depends on what kind of work you want to do and how booked out you want to be. I feel like, so most of my clients wait about 6 months. I feel like the longer they're willing to wait, the longer they've also thought about their design. That it goes pretty hand in hand, So if somebody was out at lunch that day with their friend and they decided that they wanted to get a tattoo, and then they walk into the shop. If you tell them, okay, you have to wait 6 months for this tattoo, they're going to go, no, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So I feel like people are willing to wait about the length that they've put thought into it.
So you use that as like as a gauge of how of what type of client you're looking for. Like, you feel like the longer they're willing to wait, probably the more seriously they're taking it, the more of an investment maybe they're willing to put in.
Yeah. When we talk about marketing, it's more about just the difference between the people who just put something online, they just put something on Instagram or put something on Facebook, and actually reaching out and grabbing people's attention.
A lot of the younger tattooers that we've talked to on the show have a way better feel for that than I do. I remember Aaron Springs in particular saying that everything that he designs, he thinks about what it's going to look like in a 2x2 square before he even takes it on. Like it has to like he has to be able to visualize how it will read, and he says that's the way he's thinking all the time, and he sees it as like a brand. You know, it's like it's almost like each tattoo needs to kind of look like my logo. It needs to be very recognizable. And I know a lot of people, and I've never considered that. Like I've never thought about what any tattoo I've done would look like in a 2x2 square.
Yeah.
But that's a different generation that's thinking that way. And if
Absolutely.
you're from my generation, you're going to get left behind probably if you don't at least recognize that people are thinking that way and react to it some way or another.
I feel like for a long time, I just kind of threw things at the wall and hoped something would stick.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is kind of for those people too. That you're just throwing something at the wall as far as marketing, hoping something will stick. Trying to plan your career, trying to do right by your clients, trying to manage your studio, and now they're actually looking for a resource that will give them a little bit more of a step by step. Like, all right, this is what I need to do. This is my action plan. Versus just continuing to throw something at the wall until it sticks.
Yeah, yeah. So that gets you through basically the first 3 days, and then you do have like an art. So at the end of the event, you're like, look, if you're ready just to stop and draw, you do offer that. Like you can go and.
So I know there's going to be some people that have no interest whatsoever in studio management. That's going to be more for the owners or the managers that attend, or people who are interested in owning a shop in the next 3 years or so. But then you're just going to have tattooers that just don't really have an interest. So then they have another option. So they're not stuck sitting through that for a few hours. Either way, no matter what room they decide to be in, both rooms are going to be recorded, and everybody that attends the event is going to have access to a replay.
To all of it. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
You're also there. Is it a think tank or something? Is it there's another section?
Yeah.
What is that? What's it look like?
That's the VIP think tank. So people that paid for an extra ticket, they spend their lunches and dinners with all of the speakers and the sponsor reps that came. People like you that are also going to be there.
Yeah.
So they email in advance what their challenges are, what they hope to learn, what they're wanting to accomplish in their career. And then we just spend some time with them, making sure that they get on the right path, they get the information, the resources that they need for their specific needs versus all of the presentations in the ballroom are more broad range, so you can take it from where you are and then apply it.
Yeah. So so you're going to get a list of questions beforehand, but it'll be kind of like just whatever they need help with. It could be like business related, portfolio critiques, anything in between, just whatever they'd like to talk about. Well, sounds like that's probably well worth it to do that. It's a lot of good tattooers that look like they're going to be there. Well, the whole thing sounds super well planned out. I'm excited about it. I think it'll be fun. How? So the dates are when? September
18th through the 21st. Yeah.
So it's a Monday through a Thursday. Is that right?
Yep, Monday through Thursday. We try to make sure that we stayed away from people's weekends so they could still, be back at home tattooing.
Yeah, I never know how to plan events for tattooers because like sometimes you think. Yeah. Like we did Sunday for Nick's workshop because most people don't tattoo on Sundays. I always try to avoid Saturdays. I feel like Fridays and Saturdays is people's whatever bread and butter days. But I never know how to plan an event for a tattooer.
I know a lot of people have kind of had a push back on the 4-day, like, oh, I don't have 4 days to be there. But, if it's something that they're really needing, that 4 days I feel like is going to make a difference in their next 5 years, you know. So
I think I think setting a bar like that also makes sure that you get the type of people that will actually get some value from it. Kind of like your idea on the wait time, to get tattooed. I've always found that the more it doesn't even matter the quality of the product. If I spent a lot of money or invested a lot of time, I will see it through. If I if I bought it at on sale for $15 and it's a course that I'm like, oh sweet, I might do that, I'll never finish it. It's just like I feel like if you don't commit to it on the front end,
the more invested you are, the more you're gonna just go all in.
Yep. I remember a couple of years ago getting a friend of mine bought an email autoresponder series like to set up email campaigns. It was like $3,000, and I was asking him how he liked it, and I was like, can you like burn it? Can I get it? And he was like, yeah, I mean, you can get it, but you'll never go through it. But he's like, I'll go through it because I spent the money on it. He's like, I'll give it to you if you want. Completely right. I spent 20 minutes on it. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But if I'd spent $3,000 on it, I probably would have finished the thing, and maybe I'd be good at emails.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know another aspect too that we're trying to focus on is because, I've spent $2,000 on a class or an event, events that coincide with the class, and then you end up going to the live event.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to spend that much money on something, which this isn't that much, but
yeah.
if I'm going to spend that much money, I want to make sure that I have a good time too.
Yeah.
So we're trying to really make it a good experience for people to come, make sure that it's organized, that it's fun. Some of the
Food included, if I'm right about that?
Yep.
Foods? Yeah.
Food is included, lunch and dinner, and coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee,
Sweet.
free coffee, all
Awesome.
time. Yep.
Well, we will include a link. It's in September. I'll be there. I'm excited about it. Nick Baxter will be there. You can go. He's a real good picture drawer. He'll teach you how to draw. And Mel will teach you how to run a shop. And I'll just sit back like this with my arms crossed. Be like, yep, I agree.
Cool. Awesome.
All right. So check it out at the link below. We would love to see you there. And until next time, you guys take it easy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.